Hey VC, Nolan here, and it was my birthday this week. I turned 29 years old. 29 years ago, on October 30th, 1984, I came into this earth, so I've been doing a lot of reflecting. I've been getting existential, and of course, listening to a lot of records. So I pulled out a bunch from 1984 to just show off, talk about, and I'll try and make it brief. I have a tendency to not buy a lot of bigger records, not because I'm some kind of snob, not because I'm too good for some of these records, but they're ubiquitous and you see them a lot. So I know if I pass it up and spend my money on something that I wouldn't normally see again, it seems to me money better spent. You know, if there's a deal on a record I don't see very often, then I know I'll catch, for instance, Prince's Purple Rain another time. Which is a record that came out in 1984, along with a few other that I don't have. I don't have U2's Unforgettable Fire, Iron Maiden's Power Slave, Metallica's Ride the Lightning, Madonna's Like a Virgin, The Smiths' self-titled, I know, right? I don't have Born in the USA. I don't have Van Halen's 1984. But I have a nice selection of college rock guitar pop from 1984 that I think is pretty good. Right now we're listening to the beautifully produced by Mitch Easter REM's Reckoning on IRS Records. Solid. I love this record. Love it. One of my favorites by REM. One of the first records I picked up when I started collecting. I got it at a thrift store for $1. Got all three of their first records for $1. It was a glorious day. We've also got The Blue Nile, A Walk Across Rooftops. A Walk Across the Rooftops. This is on Lynn Records, majorly distributed by A&M and Virgin. This is a great record. This is about how it sounds. The Blue Nile, A Walk Across Rooftops, with this photo here. Very hazy, but crystal clear. The production on this is incredible. It was meant to be a test for Lynn Studios, I think, or Bell Studios. It's a last name like that. And it was meant to showcase this particular studio. So they picked this local band, the Blue Nile, stumbling over my words, to record their first album. And it's fantastic, new, romantic, Tinseltown in the Rain, if you want to check out a track. It's beautiful. We have The Church, Remote Luxury. This, I think, is a compilation of EPs. 1984 on Warner Brothers, majorly distributed by them. I feel like they were on Parlophone elsewhere, but this is a great record, and this was before Heyday, I think, which was before Starfish, their most popular, and I think The Church is a little unsung in the 80s. You know, they were consistently dropping great albums throughout the 80s and beyond, actually. And this one really stands up. It's a great album, great little album. This is just a tiny, unsung, fun, rootsy guitar pop band on Homestead Records called Great Plains. And this is Born in a Barn. This one's really fun. And these guys right here. Song titles like When Honesty Gets Old, Black Sox Scandal, Love to the Third Power, I Must Have Made It All Up. Fun guys. Great Plains. Happy to find these records. They are a little bit hard to come by in the wild. Lloyd Cole and the Commotions. Very literate guitar pop in the vein of Felt or the Smiths. This is an alternate cover I have. This is like the major US domestic version on Polydor and Geffen. And this is great. I don't think they ever topped this record, but this is fan-freaking-tastic. This next record's a blast. As you can tell by the cover here, this is Hoodoo Guru's Stone Age Romeo. This is on Demon Records. This is the UK cover. I had the US cover. It is not as good. is not as good. I had a copy that was signed by the band, so I traded it for a very nice copy of Stone Age Romeo, and this is just big guitar, big hooks, rock and roll. Again, I don't think they ever really topped it. This record, their first, kind of has a timeless quality. The production isn't as dated, I think, as their follow-up records. So if you want to check them out, it's a great place to start. Every song is just a total knockout. Hoodoo Gurus, 1984. Great stuff. This next one is a placeholder for the Replacements' Let It Be. But for right now, this is what I've got, I Will Dare. This is on Twin Tone, and it has I Will Dare, Back to the 20th Century Boy, and a live version of Hey Good Lookin'. You know, I Will Dare, this is good to have. It makes it on plenty of mixtapes. It's a great record. I wish I had Let It Be, but, you know, anybody looking for Let It Be knows what I'm saying. One of my favorite bands, XTC. This is The Big Express. Not one of my favorites of theirs, but solid songs throughout. And it's on Virgin, I believe, yeah. And I don't know what the single was even from this album, to be honest, but really big production on this album. Very solid, polished sound, very big sound, especially on this Virgin pressing. Solid, great pop, great guitar pop. This is a record I've bought and sold a few times. I keep wanting to give it a chance. The Dream Syndicate's Medicine Show, 1984 A&M Records. Their first record, Days of Wine and Roses, and subsequent live albums and bootlegs that have been released are incredible. This album, the songs are there, and there's hints of, you know, that first album that was just this raw Velvet Underground stealing, cool fluke of a record. But it's big drums. Alright, I ran out of tape there. Huge production on this record, and I don't know how I feel about it. I bought and sold it like 3 times. I picked this latest copy up for $1 at Salvation Army, and I just want to give it a chance. And holy crap, speaking of Velvet Underground stealing, this guy looks a lot like Lou Reed right here. Anyway, Dream Syndicate, their first record, Days of Wine and Roses, is incredible. So, The Liars, On Fire. This is garage rock revivalism before garage rock revivalism was cool. Really nice. This is New Rose Records or Ace of Hearts Records. Take your pick. Great band. I just finished reading Vinyl Addicts, I think was the name of the book, and it's just a cool label. I'll show it. And the lead singer of Liars is a very avid record collector, and apparently he will only cover obscure garage rock songs if he owns the single, which he will spend thousands of dollars for. So, props for that. That's something, right? I Really Want You Right Now is a great track off this record. Lyres. You know, does not sound dated for its time. One of the only records these guys put out, and really solid stuff. Also, finally, happy to have this copy for $1, Echo and the Bunnymen Ocean Rain. Been looking for their records forever. I never see them, and I'm looking all the time out in the wild. So, you know, very serious, brooding sort of guitar pop. Really cool. Glad to have this one. 1984, majorly distributed on Sire Records. Really good. Killing Moon, huge song for them. And yeah, VC, those are some records from 1984, and I'm a record from 1984. And sorry for the cutouts in the middle there, but, you know, this is a work in progress. I'll talk to you soon. Leave a message in the comments if you think of any records from 1984, and I want to listen to them. Y'all take it easy.